you may be missing out. Now, I'm obviously kind of preaching to the choir over here. New Jersey is already almost 20% Hispanic statewide. But when you look deeper in some of those key towns, which probably you live in many of them, the numbers are huge. You know, Perth Amboy, 78%, Passaic, 71%, New Brunswick, I had it somewhere over here. Well, it's in the other, oh, there it is, New Brunswick, 50%. And the list goes on and on and on. Now, why am I mentioning this? This is not just a Hispanic thing, and that all of a sudden we're gonna be smarter by pigmentation and grow faster because we just happen to be Hispanic. No. What I'm saying is just, we need to be informed with the information about the market for you to empower the people that you work with, the customers that you serve, right? The employers where you work at. Because you do have a responsibility by being the one that knows intuitively from your own background about what makes you unique and different, that there is an opportunity to maybe reach these audiences in a unique and different way. Because all sizes, one size doesn't fit all, that is for sure. So there is definitely a dynamic of cultural economics that we can see here. When anyone looks at diversity issues or minority issues, we often get thrown into an altruistic mission, or it's an immigration thing because, you know, it's very politicized these days. But quite honestly, it is an economic thing. Because as you saw the numbers in terms of growth in key markets, you just gotta be smart about how to tap into the power of the fastest growing segment of the population, which is what I like to call cultural intelligence. And I can tell you just by looking at the makeup of this room is probably already by default and definition much more culturally intelligent than the average person out there, which is an advantage, by the way. And I'm trying to highlight the fact that this is a business advantage. Because cultural intelligence gives you the ability to have the capacity to be aware of, understand, embrace, live, and apply cultural competence into everyday business. Now, that's a big mouthful. It sounds very technical. It just means you're in tune with the fact that we live in a new, diverse America. And that is not just a Hispanic thing or an African American thing. It is an American thing. Because we need to learn to reach not multicultural markets, but market to a multicultural America. It's total market, because that's just who we are. So with that in mind, that is why I created my company after leaving an amazing career at J&J. Because there is an opportunity for us to turn cultural trends into profits. And we are greatly positioned to do that because of our cultural backgrounds and the communities that we live in and serve. It blows my mind to this day when I see an all-American guy, and good for him, discovering coconut water. Discovering, because he falls in love with a Brazilian in a, vacation. Why is not a Latino behind Vita Coco? I mean, Dominican, Puerto Rican, come on guys, you grew up with this thing. But it took somebody else with the cultural curiosity to see, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity. Right in front of our noses, something we took for granted culturally became a highly valued corporation that now was bought, and it's just mega millions that should have been owned by us. Chipotle, I get they're in trouble and for so many other things, but we can agree that has become the fastest growing franchise, quick serve restaurant with an amazing story. Chipotle is a taco stand. That's really what it is. But it took some guys from Denver to make it, farm grown. But the assembly line, the way it works, is a taco stand, as old as it gets when it comes to the business model of it. So those are two very simple and kind of silly examples, not so silly because they're mega millions worth. But those are things that were inspired by a cultural insight and cultural curiosity of people that maybe saw it as new, but we all took it for granted because you know what? I grew up with coconut water, and are Americans gonna like that? No, who knows? Maybe what's the next thing? Quinoa. Why is it so expensive now? I can buy it for nothing in Colombia. Like, really became so cool all of a sudden, quinoa. Next thing will be panela or something, who knows? But it's like, we can come up with these things. It's right before our noses, and America's ready because actually food is probably the biggest gateway to experiment with culture. And we're seeing it with a lot of these new blockbuster products that are like household things for us. Anyway, I'm gonna fast forward that. So you may be looking at, I had to put up my cute baby picture. I was like, where do I put it, where do I put it? This is the spot. I said, how, you may be listening to all of this, Lily's story, you're probably checking Facebook, so focus here for a second. I know this is what you're thinking, so what, Lily? All this data, and Hispanics are growing, and minorities are taking over, and very cool, you left J&J and have a company, so what? So I want you to be able to walk away from here with something practical, I hope, and things that you can go back and apply in your businesses or in your communities, even in your families, in your careers, whatever it may be. So I thought of maybe outlining 5 basic principles of things that I have been learning throughout this journey. Failing, falling, racing back up, growing, not growing so much. It's, you know, people celebrate the entrepreneur at the end, but forget there was a story leading to that moment. We celebrate the glory, but we forget about the sleepless nights. I often tell young audiences when we're in colleges or whatever, I say, you know what, guys? You see, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, I want to be like him. The guys from Twitter, 3 guys that came up with this wonderful thing. Yeah, they ate Doritos for 8 months. They slept in their parents' basement. It wasn't glamorous. It's not a glamorous thing. Being an entrepreneur is just code for being like hungry and broke and sleepless. And you have to be up for it. So what is it that can possibly fuel you and motivate you to keep going when all you're eating is Doritos? And I thought about it, and that's what turned into the principles. So number 1, you must be purposeful. That sounds big and daunting, but seriously, it's not just a cliche. Passion and what you're passionate about fuels your purpose. And then your purpose with a plan right next to it turns into a business. If you started a business because you want to make money, you probably won't. And it sounds so blunt to say it, but that is the reality. Because you will make money doing what you love. And go back and look at the great business minds and read about them. That is what fuels you when you're not sleeping and eating Doritos. It's passion and purpose behind it. So I thought of doing something right now. How many of you are business owners, entrepreneurs, or hoping to become one? There you go. So it doesn't matter, especially for those of you that are business owners. I'm gonna try something right now. I've never done this in a presentation, so it may fail, but you can help me not make it fail. I would love to just have us declare these principles and really own them and remember them for when you walk out of here. So I will make money doing what I love is something that I would love for you to repeat with me. So we'll try it. 1, 2, 3. I will make money doing what I love. Exactly. And that is principle number 1. Number 2, become a master. You gotta find your swim lane and master it. Oh, what is it that you do? Oh, I do this, and I sell empanadas, but I also do this on the weekend. Wait a second. Become a master and own it, and become the best at that craft, and go deep. And there's people that have made a whole business out of making baby, teeny tiny, overpriced cupcakes. Right? And you probably all paid way too much for them.
Absolutely.
And she's making a killing. So they say, let me own the teeny tiny cute cupcake industry. Go figure. And she's doing well with it. So what is it that you're mastering? Because we cannot do everything and be everything to everybody. That is very, very important. And I like calling it the swim lane, which is why this visual is there. And we'll try it. We'll try to do it together again. So I will find and master my swim lane. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I will find and master my swim lane. If you don't know what your swim lane is right now, it's okay. Go back and figure it out. What am I really, 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 really good at? What can put me apart from my competitors? Maybe I still don't know exactly what that is. It doesn't matter. Start trying. But own a lane. Don't be everything to everybody. It's very hard to compete with that. Number 3, know where your money is. This is a very big mistake that many of us make, and I say us because I did it early on in my business. It's very easy to say, oh, I'm gonna download, QuickBooks online and do it myself, or I have an Excel file. I was just, talking to a new friend over here that does this for a living. You can't just wing it. It's your money. If you don't know where your money is going right now, and I'm talking for the business owners, if you can't respond like this, what is your burn rate? You're like, ooh, what is that? Your monthly cost, how much does it take to keep the business running every single month? If you don't know that, it's very, very hard to scale and grow. We go cheap with the accountant and you hire your neighbor's daughter who's like in college learning barely how to balance a sheet. Don't go cheap on that part, seriously, it's not worth it. Hire an expert, there's experts here with us. It's very important because if you're blinded with the financials of your organization, you really don't know where you're going, where you should spend, or what you can or cannot afford. It becomes really difficult. And I can tell you that is something that I have had to learn the hard way myself, because it's very easy for you to want to do it all. So I know where my money goes. And do you always know? Yes, you always know if you are managing your business properly. All right? So let's try this one again. 1, 2, 3. I know where my money goes. Okay? Next, 4, embrace failure. This is my favorite. We gotta make a mental shift. Don't let failure get you in a funk, because it's going to happen. You know what sets ordinary people apart from extraordinary people are the ones that manage failure by staying down or for picking themselves back up and doing something better. You gotta understand as a business owner that things are not happening to you, things are happening for you. And that's very different, and it's a mindset shift that is totally gonna reframe when you face failure. So what I love to say, and I tell this to my business partner all the time, you know what? When failure kicks me, I will kick it right back. I'm not gonna let it define me or my business or my situation right now. I will make something of it that is gonna make me innovate, grow, change my business model, fire some people that are not the right ones for my company, whatever it is. You have to be ready to see it as something that is happening for you and your business and not to you. Don't victimize yourself. Failure is an amazing thing. It really, really is. Sounds weird to say it. It is. Trust me. So let's do this one. This is a fun with a fun picture right there. 1, 2, 3. When failure kicks me, I will kick it right back. That's right. Kick it right back. Now create a network. You know, there is a phrase out there. I'm sure you've heard it. It takes a village. Whether it is to raise a family, to start a business, but so many times, and this is an entrepreneur's dilemma, you think you can do it all and you want to do it all and you're controlling it all, and it's like, no, it takes a village, and it's easier when you have a network and the village around you to support you. It took a village for me. I have a couple of faces here of my village members, different executives in different places, investors, influential folks that I know I can pick up the phone and they're there for me. It doesn't mean that I talk to them every week or even every month. You gotta be selective with your village and your villagers and how you use them. But if you don't have your own village or your own board of directors right now for you, and by the way, this doesn't just apply for business people. This is for people in life. Whether it is that aunt that you can call and count on, La Tia Gloria, she's always there, and this is real, my Tia Gloria in Atlanta, she's amazing. Or if it's your pastor or a friend or somebody, there's typically